Hey, good morning. Good morning. Happy holiday to you. Thank you for joining this morning on this beautiful holiday morning of December 25th, 2018. Guys, I want to welcome you to this enlightenment series here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube, guys. And we post these videos up there after we have done them here, edit them a little bit, and and put them out so others can find them. So if you have not already liked our page or subscribed to the channel, we're going to ask you to do that for us, please. Look, we have a mission. We have a mission in 2019 to serve, to help, to be a part of the lives of really 1,000 people. But really, that's a small goal. That's not even a big goal. That 1,000 is the direct connection of individuals that we want to help. But the number of people that we want to get to is, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people, probably really millions, to be honest. To get to 1,000 direct, we probably have to get to millions. Um, so you can be a part of that, and we're asking you to help out, and well, we thank you so much for doing that. So, guys, I want to get started, and I'm Jay. I'm your healthy accountant, accounting for your life and business, and everything that matters. And so today, because of the holiday, I wanted to bring some enlightenment um, to what today is all about. And a lot of people get gifts, and you give gifts. It's a fun time. It's a family time where we, enjoy each other, and so as I'm starting my morning, I wanted to think about what it is I can see, or even if you were saying I can see it, can you? Have you ever seen the commercial, um, Verizon, hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You've heard that commercial. It's going all through. It keeps saying, can you hear me now? Seeing how the network is so good. And, I wanted to really think about what people and what we are celebrating. And so I jumped into the word. I went into Matthew, found I found a portion of text that, I said, wow, I got to chapter 2 where they were talking about the wise men that came from the east to go and see this king. Now, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine yourself being a wise man, and all of a sudden, you're looking up and you notice something. You notice a star, and that star is leading you. Like, man, that star looks interesting based on the study, because these guys studied. They were religious leaders. They were people that had been studying the prophecies, and so they were looking and they said, wait a second, based on the time that it is today, based on what's happening, that star is leading us to the newborn king. Let's follow. Now, I just want to kind of make it plain. If someone came to you and they said, hey, can you see this? Look at what I'm looking at here. And they say, hey, can you see it? You may not understand it. You may be like, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. And a lot of times in our life, there are things happening around us. There are circumstances in our life that are recurring. I've dealt with some recurring issues, some recurring problems. I was talking to my wife this on Sunday. I said, we were talking. I was just like, think about these problems that we may have been facing over the past few years. They're the same problem. Why is it that most of us ignore the problems? And then if we do something, we don't really keep looking at, wait a second, that's not working. Let me figure out another way. I talked about this yesterday when I talked about you have to be open minded. You have to be open minded to change. You have to be open minded to actually getting direction from maybe somebody else. So think of these wise men. These wise men going through, they see this star and they said, man, you know what? Based on the scripture, it looks like the king of mankind is going to be born. That's what it looks like. Let's follow. And they follow it all the way to Bethlehem, where they get there and they're asking people everywhere, hey, where is the king? Where is the new king? And no one knew what they were talking about. No one else had been studying. No one else had become aware of what time that they were living in and what was soon to happen. And they're just like, man, no one knows. Let's go find. No. By this time, everyone, I guess the word got to the king, got to Herod. And so Herod is like, hey, bring those guys over here. So some king is going to be born. I need to know about this king because I don't know what they're talking about, but I need to know. So then they go to Herod, and Herod's just like, hey, tell me about this king. And they're talking to him, and they're talking about how they're looking for the king. And he's just like, hey, look, what I want you to do is go out there, find him, and come back and tell me where he is. And so they said, great. They were excited because they were more excited because now they got the king on. They got the king of that time to be on board, that they could continue to look for this new king. And so they go, they look, and they're led by the star, and they find the king, the one, the Messiah that would be born. One life would be born to save all mankind. And they went and they worshiped. I just want you to know something. No one else saw this star. There were only a few people that saw the star. There were only a few people that showed up that day on Christmas Day. There were only a few people that showed up with gifts. There were only a few people that showed up and could worship at that time. There was only a few people that were aware of what time they were living in. Only a few. And so, guys, I want to really help you to understand, can you see it? Can you see that right now in the time that we're living in, the time where, God is doing some amazing things in people. God's doing some amazing things around this world. God's doing amazing things right now. When you look at how traditions are being broke down, they're being snapped away, and I'll name them. You've got retail stores are being broke down because of online. You've got churches coming down because people are not living the truth. You've got educational systems that's been in place for years and years being broke down because people are realizing, hey, I can learn this anywhere. You've got some homes are falling apart because people are not walking the walk and talking the talk. I talked about this yesterday. What you say is not what you teach. Right now, everything that has been a tradition is being pulled down. Business is being broke down because now, instead of just talking, instead of just going in for the cold sell, people want to know that you're real. People want to know that, hey, man, is this person the real deal? Can I see stuff about them online? Folks want to go and find you online. What are they talking about online? What have they posted online? What are other people saying about them? That is what's happening right now. Can you see it? Can you see it? Now, I can see it, but can you see it? Do you realize that businesses are being broke down and people are going to have to learn a new way to earn an income? Can you see it? Can you see that, big companies like Sears are, this is almost like probably the last Christmas that you may see Sears in the way that it's been because Sears has broke down. They didn't adapt. Can you see it? I can. Can you see that, we all have to look at ourselves now, and we all have to say, oh man, I can do more. I don't have to wait for anybody else to do it for me. I don't even have to have a college degree for me to be super successful. I can now start a multi-million-dollar business with no money. Can you see that? Can you see it? Can you see that right now, those that were not humble are being humbled. Those that are humbled are being lifted up. Can you see it? I can. See, guys, today on this holiday, this day where you're giving your gifts to the kids, and we're giving and we're sharing. Don't miss, don't miss the opportunity here to see something that's not visible. Don't miss the opportunity to see the star that's going to lead you ultimately to the place of where the king is. See, the king is leading all of this. But right now, if you are not paying attention, you wouldn't realize it, that the king is in control. The king is causing all these things to happen. See, the king is running everything. The king came. He was a baby. No one knew. But you know what? There was a few. There were a few that saw the king. They rejoiced and they said, this is the day that the Lord had made. I am so happy that I was able to witness the birth of the true king. See, this king that I'm talking about, this Christ that I'm talking about, who is more, this Christ came as a baby. And when he came as a baby, he came in circumstances. He came into circumstances that were not ideal. They were not the way that a king would have come to a place. A normal king would have come in flamboyant. A normal king would have come in with all sorts of partying and hoopla. But this king came in swaddling clothes. This king came in a barn, and this king was laid up with animals. This king came for you and for me. But this king took off his heavenly garments, and he put on garments that were humble. He was with a family that was virtuous, that no one thought was raising a king. Because here's the thing, Mary was a virgin, and Mary had a baby out of wedlock. See, no one knew how she got pregnant because Joseph didn't do it. So let's think about, can you see this? Can you see that God uses certain types of circumstances? Think about the circumstances of single women that have babies, right? They have these babies, and it seems that that's a bad situation, but God is saying that, hey, I can work with that. I can take someone that has a baby out of wedlock, and I can turn that baby into a king if I want. See, guys, can you see that? See, there's a lot of things that God does that is not traditional. There's a lot of things that God does that the only people that can see it are those looking for the star. See, if you're not looking for the star, if you're not studying and 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 praying, I'm not gonna say fasting, because I don't always do that. So I'm not gonna say fasting, but I'm gonna tell you that he has shown some stuff. He has shown me some stuff, even in this broadcast. He's shown me some things that I can see, but I'm wondering if you can see how all of the things that were traditional, all of the things that seem normal, he's breaking them down. He's breaking them down because in the scripture it says that all of the treasures will be given, all of the treasures will be given to the righteous. So right now there's a process taking place where money is being transferred into the hands of those that are aware. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to miss this train. There's going to be a lot of people that are that are going to be crying and gnashing their teeth because they missed it. They missed the fact that it was right under their nose. The King of all kings was right there. There's going to be many people that are going to wish that they would have just followed that little star. That little star. That star of intuition that hits you and says that, hey, you should go this way, and you decide, well, that's a little uncomfortable, so I'm not going that way. No one else is going that way, so I'm going to keep going the way that everyone else is going. See, there's going to be people that's going to wish that they followed that star. Can you see the star? Can you see it? Can you see that you are being led in a different direction? If you're listening to this broadcast, you are listening to something that's going to take you away from the direction that you're headed. Can you see that? If if that's you, if you know that you should be going a different direction, then you have to make the choice today. Make the choice today on this holiday that man has created for my Christ. But don't do it the way that everyone else does it. You have to do it in the manner that only Christ would do it. See, Christ is not out for gifts. Christ is not out for the things of the flesh. What Christ is out for is life. And you should give your life, all of your life, to what it is that you know you should do, for what it is that you may even seem, it may seem to be, a blind spot. You can't seem to quite see exactly where you should be going, but you know you should be going in that direction. I want you to give your life to that, because when you give your life to what he's called you to do, you will see, you will see more, and you will be led to have more, because he will be with you all the way to the end. So guys, I'm thanking you for joining me today on this holiday. This is a special day. But let's look at this day as a day when our eyes were opened. Our eyes were open to see the true path, to see the true light of where we were called to go. And I want you to take the journey with me. Take the journey with me all the way to the direction that he's pulling us into. And ultimately, guys, you may get there before me, meaning, maybe I may get tripped up and I might lose my life on this journey. You may lose your life because life is so precious. Tomorrow we could be gone, but do all that you can today so that if you do lose your life one day, that when they talk about you, they will say that she put it all on the line, and she didn't leave anything in the tank. That's what my prayer is this morning for you, as you celebrate Christ and his life and what he did for all of us in making a way, giving us hope so that we all could one day get the ultimate present, and that's eternal life. So I want to thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to the journey together with you, moving all the way through our lives, all the way through this life that has called us to do great things for him. So God bless you. Have a happy holiday with your family, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, bright and early. Take care.